So in this session, as I mentioned in the previous class, we will be discussing that how to draw the Bode plot for open loop transfer function, that is non-interacting multi-capacity, which is open loop transfer functions with the following dynamic components. Let's say here I am taking an example from the book of, or not exercise problem basically, from the book of Stephanopoulos, page number 376. So this is the problem, page 376, the exercise problem, and chapter 17, and the exercise problem number is 454 of 5. Right? What are the transfer functions? It's given that Gp is equal to 1 by 5 s square plus 2s plus 6, and Gm is equal to 1 divided by s plus 1, Gc is equal to 10, 1 plus 1 divided by 0.2s, and Gf is equal to 10 divided by s plus 10. Right. So you see that we have to go for certain this dressing of the transfer function. Here we can write 1 by 6, 5 by 6 s square plus 1 by 3 s plus 1. Here it's fine, here it's also fine. So here we'll write 1 by 10 s plus 1. So let's say here, if we directly write ARP, right, ARP, so it is 1 by 6, or rather if I now write the overall transfer function, G overall. So we have 1 by 6 into 10. So 10 by 6 multiplied by 1 divided by 5 by 6 s square plus 1/3 s plus 1 into 1 plus 1 divided by 0.2s into this, or rather here 1 divided by s plus 1 and into 1 divided by 1 by 10s plus 1. So that's the overall product function, right? So you see that AR, the overall, divided by 10 by 6, that is the collective product of all the gains, we can write it as equal to, this is a better approach of normalizing the overall AR with respect to the product gain such that the individual gains of the transfer functions becomes unity. So this is, if we want to write, and here you see this tau is under root of 5 by 6, zeta is 1/3 divided by 2 under root of 5 by 6, right? So 1 minus tau square omega square whole square. So tau square is 5 by 6, omega square whole square plus 2 tau zeta. I'm not doing the calculation, but still we can actually solve. 2 tau zeta omega whole square multiplied by this pi. So this is under root 1 plus 1 divided by 0.2 omega whole square into 1 divided by under root omega square plus 1 into 1 divided by under root 1 by 10 omega whole square plus 1. Right, that's a product. And phi overall will be tan inverse of minus 2 tau zeta divided by 2 minus 2 tau zeta divided by 1 minus tau square omega square plus tan inverse of this pi controller, for which it is minus of 1 divided by 0.1 omega plus tan inverse of minus omega into tau p is 1 here plus tan inverse of minus 1 by 10 into omega. So that's the expression. But actually see, as we know what is the situation if I plot a second order system of pi, a first order and here a first order. As we know the asymptotes, first we will draw the individual asymptotes focusing on this AR versus or AR overall by 10 by 6, right? So here you see that this is omega and here we are plotting AR divided by 10 by 6, right? Overall we will plot, but before that we are plotting this individual amplitude ratio considering the gain to be individually equal to 1. So first it is a second order process, right? So what will be the corner frequency of the second order process? So you see for here the corner frequency will be 1 divided by this tau, right? 1 divided by tau, so this is root 6 by 5, slightly greater than 1. Here for this PI controller, omega c equal to 1 divided by 0.2, so that is 5. Here omega c equal to 1 and here omega c equal to 10. So we will mark a line here. Let's say this is 1. Here this will be very close to it, root 6 by 5. Next 5 and 10. 5 will be somewhere here and here let's say is 10. Right? And this is 1. Okay. And this is the omega axis. Now first process is second order process with root 5 by 6. So let's draw it using this different color. Okay. So up to here, then this is slope of minus, right? Next it is pi. So pi initially it will have a slope of minus 1 and then it's flat. And what is the value? Okay, let me draw this. Okay, this 5. So up to here, it's going through a slope minus 1 and next it is flat. Okay? So this slope is minus 1. Next, it's 1 and corner frequency is also 1. From here, this and this line will be parallel, minus 1. And finally, another first order process at 10. This is also minus 1. Right. Now you see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 different domains. And what happens? We have log of AR is equal to everywhere. Some we can say C1 minus log of omega, or we can write minus of m log of omega for all the plots, right? And this m, or if it is plus m, that's forgettable, plus m, or rather mi and log of ARI for different values of omega, and this is Ci. It's better representation. Mi is the slope and Ci intercept. right? So you see that if I am superimposing the different AR, we get what? Log of AR over R, and that will be equal to summation of Ci plus summation of Mi log of omega. And this part is very important. That means that over individual segments where there is a change of slope, right, we have to add the slopes. Add the slopes of individual profiles, right, over different segments of omega domain. What does it mean? That here 0 or this, wherever you are starting, from that to 1 is a domain, 1 to under root 6 by 5 is another domain, under root 6 by 5 to 5 is another domain, 5 to 10 is another domain, and more than 10 is another. So when omega less than 1, what are the slopes? All the slopes, if we add, slope will be minus 1, right? In the next, here we have a slope minus 1, here we have a slope minus 1. So omega less than under root 6 by 5 greater than 1, what will be the slope? Minus 2. Here, check. In this narrow region, we have this curve and this curve having a non-zero slope, rest of the slopes are 0. Now, omega less than 5 greater than under root 6 by 5. We have this curve and this curve, right? Now, this is slope minus 2, this is slope minus 1, this has got slope minus 1. Slope minus 4. Now, omega less than 10 greater than 5. Now here, minus 2, minus 1, and there is nothing. So, minus 3. And omega greater than 10, the slope is equal to omega greater than 10, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2. Again minus. So what will be the nature of the curve? Initially, the curve will be following this trend, right? Then it will be following the trend which is parallel to this, right? So here the slope is minus 1, here the slope is minus 2, here the slope will be minus 3, minus 4, right, in the next domain. And in the next, the slope will be minus 3, and after that again minus 1. So this will be the overall asymptote. And actually, we have to draw the asymptotes majorly. Now if I want to draw the actual curve, it will be more or less close to that asymptote because the asymptotes itself, and then the deviation will be maximal here, over here, over here, and over here at these junction points, right? So that's the Bode asymptotic plot for this combined system. So what you have to note that all asymptotes, see, all asymptotes for all the different types of system, we can express it in this form, right? Now this AMI may vary from 0 to anything, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, that depends on the order of the system, or plus 1 for PD controllers and all, right? So we'll get this. Now if I am superimposing, why I am superimposing? Because if I add log of ARI, actually we are supposed to get log of AR overall. So we have to add this to, this means superimpose. So intercept part is not important, but here log of omega, you see the slopes are being added. So individually, whenever the asymptotes changes its slope, based on that, we will segment the entire omega domain, and individually over that, each segment will go on adding the slopes of these profiles, right? The individual capacities. And what we did here, and from there we have drawn it. Now, if you want to plot this phi, so you see, this what will be the maximum value? For phi, here it varies from 0 to minus 180, correct? this PD controller, it varies from minus 90 to 0, correct? Minus 90 when omega tends to 0, right? And 0 when omega tends to infinity. This varies from 0 to minus 90, and this is also from 0 to minus 90. And we know that phi overall is sum of individual phi. So we'll draw the phi profile and simply superimpose. But we have to fix the limit of this phi scale. So you see that all starts from 0 or minus 90, right? 0 or minus 90. So we'll go for 0. So it will be the highest value, and lowest value will be what? Minus 180, minus 90, minus 90, right? So minus 360. Okay, minus 360 will be my terminal value, because that is the maximum value of omega, phi we are having when omega tends to infinity. So now here again this omega equal to 1, then equal to root 6 by 5, then equal to 5, and finally to 10. Right, this much we know, we need. So this is 0 degree, this is minus 180 degree, sorry here it will be somewhere down, minus 180 degree, and here it is minus 360 degree, here it will be minus 90 degree, here is minus 45 degree. Done? So with that, for the second order system, this is the second order system. And what sort of system it is? See, 1/3 divided by 2 into root 6 by 5, right? So 2 by 3.66 into root 6 by 5. So it is definitely, I'm not getting the exact value, it is definitely underdamped, right? And for that, the plot will be like this. The corner frequency, as we have calculated, the corner frequency was this root 6 by 5. Right, so at root 6 by 5 the value will be this, and we have, as it is underdamped, so it will be rather steep like this. Okay. Next it is a PI control. Next it is PI control, which starts from minus 90 and goes to 0. And at corner frequency, which is 5, it will pass through minus 45. Right. So this will start from here and goes to this. This is a tentative plot. You have to draw it in actual graph paper. Right. Here. Next two are fast order system with 1 as corner frequency. So it will be something like this. And another is having a value of 10, which is again 45 degree. It's this. So overall, if we start, then we see that it will start from minus 90 and ends at minus 360. Exactly the profile we cannot plot qualitatively, but what you have to do individually, you have to take certain segment and go on adding the individual values of phi, mark those points and plot. So tentatively it will be a kind of plot like this. Right, if you go on adding the individual phi. So this is phi over. So these two are the typical Bode plot. Okay, for the open loop system we have discussed. Now point here is that in Bode we have to go for two different plots. One is amplitude ratio versus omega, another is phi versus omega. Amplitude ratio versus omega is a log-log plot, whereas phi versus omega is a semi-log plot. Now there is an alternative. An alternative to the Bode plot is Nyquist plot. And what is Nyquist plot? Nyquist plot actually it simply give you the locus of Gj omega, the modulus of which is the amplitude ratio and the argument of which is the phase shift. So it is typically the Gj omega with omega varying from 0 to infinity. The locus of Gj omega as omega varies from 0 to infinity in the Argand space, in the Argand diagram, that is real axis, imaginary axis, two-dimensional space. So there if I plot the locus of Gj omega, we will be getting the combined information of the two combined informations of Bode plots. But definitely the Nyquist plot is difficult to retrieve exactly in terms of amplitude ratio and phase shift. So let's see. So our topic is Nyquist plot. It is basically the locus of Gj omega with omega varying from 0 to infinity. Right. So you see, first order system. So Gj omega we can directly write as Kp into under root tau square omega square plus 1 into exponential of this minus tan inverse of minus omega tau. Right. So what will be the Nyquist plot? So this is real axis, this is imaginary axis. Now we have already got the idea that omega equal to 0, that amplitude ratio is equal to this Kp and phase shift equal to 0. So this will be omega equal to 0, right? And the point is Kp comma 0 on the real axis. Now as omega tends to infinity, we know from the Bode plot that AR tends to, that is amplitude ratio that tends to 0, whereas phi tends to minus 90. Amplitude ratio 0 means this point and phi from minus 90. So means this point will be approached from this side. Right. Now definitely in this region we have to generate certain values of amplitude ratio and phi. Like say we have calculated for omega equal to some omega 1. We have calculated AR is equal to AR1 and phi is equal to phi1, right? So we'll go for drawing a line. Let's say this is phi1, and along the line we will mark the length. This is this. Along the line, this will be omega 1. So if I join such points, I will get a line like this. Right. So this is the plot moving from here to here, and this is omega tending to infinity. Okay. So that's the Nyquist plot of first order system. So if you think of second order system, now you see that we don't have to write this ER, it's simply the sufficient Kp divided by under root 1 minus tau square omega square whole square plus 2 tau zeta omega whole square. And phi that's equal to tan inverse of minus 2 tau zeta omega divided by 1 minus tau square omega square. Right. So again this real and imaginary axis. This is positive imaginary axis. So omega is equal to 0 here. Omega equal to 0. This will be Kp comma 0. Now, when omega tending to infinity, AR tends to 0 and phi tends to minus 180. So this point, the central point, will be approached from this side because this is angle minus 180. Now again we will draw certain calculate certain these intermediate values of AR and phi and we will plot it. Right, but there is something to understand. If, see, we draw a half circle with radius Kp, what we will observe? We will observe the following sort of parts. It will be like this. It may be like this, or it may be like this, right? That again depends on whether the system is overdamped, underdamped or critically damped. So this is definitely underdamped, this is critically damped and this is overdamped. Because you see in overdamped response, this output can never grow beyond this AKP, right? But in underdamped it is above and over the maximal value, okay? And critically damped it's also the same, it's never beyond this AKP. But in underdamped it's beyond this AKP, so that's also reflected in terms of its Nyquist plot. And also we have observed in Bode plot, there was two asymptotes of slope 0 and slope minus 1. Something was like this, something like this, right? So which goes above and over this Kp, AR equal to Kp, that's definitely underdamped. So here is the same. Next, let's think of dead time. So here AR is equal to 1 fixed and phi is equal to minus of tau d. So what will happen? It's simply a circle, because phi or phi will go on increasing indefinitely. So this we can mark only as omega equal to 0. It's a unit circle, right? So radius will be 1. So that is the dead times Nyquist plot. Think of a multi-capacity here, dead time plus fast order, right? So G overall here, it's equal to G1 into G2. So AR overall will be AR1 into AR2 and phi overall will be phi1 plus phi2. So what will happen? See, this AR1, this is a dead time, this is 2. AR1 is 1, AR2 is K2 divided by under root tau 2 square omega square plus 1. Right. So here this is going to 0 as omega tends to infinity. And here this will be 1. Okay? And phi will be infinity. So what will happen? One is say Kp is here. Again, let's use a different color. So Kp is here. So this is the first order system. Right. So this is omega 0 and it is Kp comma 0. And here we have this, say this is unit circle, and this is omega equal to 0. Goes on evolving. So essentially, we will be having this sort of spine. Right? If I combine these two plots according to that AR overall equal to AR1 into AR2 and phi overall equal to phi1 plus phi2, so we get this sort of plot, the black marked kind of logarithmic circle, this cycle, right? And starting from Kp and 0 point and finally converging to this origin of this argon plate. So that's about dead time and first order plus dead time. Next, let's think of PI controller. So for PI controller, you know this AR is equal to Kc 1 plus 1 by tau I omega square, and phi is equal to tan inverse of minus 1 by tau I omega. So, and the Bode plot, if you remember, that it will be like this, and this value is AR equal to Kc, or AR by Kc equal to 1, right, at this certain frequency which is 1 by tau. So what will be the, and phi will be this, it was changing from this 0 and minus 90, initially it is minus 90 and finally it will grow to 0. So this is real axis, this is imaginary axis, and let's say this is Kc, so let's draw a circle. We will see what is the utility of the circle. Right. So initial position, phi, 90 minus 90, AR by Kc infinity. So somewhere here, omega equal to 0. Right. And omega tending to infinity, AR equal to Kc and phi equal to 0 to. So this point is omega tending to infinity. Now what we observe in actual plot, over a certain, after a certain value of omega above or forward its cross this corner frequency, the value of AR, see, it's equal to Kc, right? So as it's approached towards this point, over certain region it will be adhering to this circles, this circle, and the plot will be something like this, right? So that is the Nyquist plot for PI. Similarly, AR we have as Kc into under root 1 plus tau d omega square, and phi is equal to tan inverse of tau d omega. So again we draw this circle. So now here this Kc comma 0, that point is omega equal to 0, right, and far away here it's omega tending to infinity. Why? Because phi is equal to plus 90 degree, so that is the axis plus 90 degree, and AR tends to infinity when omega tends to infinity, and we have this AR is equal to Kc and phi is equal to 0 when omega equal to 0. And if you note again the Bode plot of this PD, it was something like this, then this, right? And here this omega is equal to 1 by tau. So over the initial part, it was adhering to this, it must adhere to this circle, and finally detaching from some point here and going to Kc. So the plot will be something like this. Right? So this will be the plot for PD controller. And naturally, without doing anything, the Nyquist plot for the PID controller so this is now the full circle, right? This is real axis, this is imaginary axis, and we have the standard plot is like this. ER over some region it will be equal to Kc, some intermediate region. So initially it is infinity. So here AR is infinity, phi equal to minus 90. In the extreme range, AR again tends to infinity, and phi tends to plus 90. And this is the typical Bode plot. So what we will have this sort of. So this is omega equal to 0, this is omega tending to infinity, and this point is Kc comma 0. Right? So that's the description of Nyquist plot for different elementary system. Now what we will try to do right now here, that we will repeat the same problem what we have solved for finally the open loop Bode plot, whatever we have generated. The same system we will consider, and we will try to construct the Nyquist plot of that system. See, again, if I note it down, then Gp is equal to 1 divided by 5 s square plus 2s plus 6, which is simply can be expressed as 1 by 6, 5 by 6 s square plus 1 by 3s plus 1. Then Gm is equal to 1 by s plus 1. Then Gc is equal to 10 within bracket 1 plus this point 5s, and Gf is equal to 1 by 10s plus 1. Right. So instead of a plot of directly Gj omega, so here we are going for Nyquist plot of Gj omega divided by 10 by 6. Right. We are normalizing with modulus, so everything now has got, we will consider that everything it's having this gain equal to 1. Right. So we'll draw these individual plots initially. First it is this second order system, and it is so if this point is 1 0 and it's overdamped, this underdamped. So if the half circle is like this, so naturally the plot looks like this. Right? The second is a first order s plus 1. So this we can mark, okay, let's write this is plot 1. Okay, so this is 1. Next it is first order system like this. This is plot for 2. Next PI controller. 3. Here this one is 3. And additionally another first order system with much higher tau p, right? So amplitude ratio, as we know that 1 divided by tau square omega square plus 1. So as tau is much lower here, so we'll have a higher value of AR. So if this is 2, 1 will be something like this. Okay. So overall, what will be the angle? Overall, the phi at omega equal to 0 is minus 90. Amplitude overall is minus infinity. Phi when omega tends to infinity, how much it will be? Minus 90, minus 90, this minus 180, and here 0. So minus 360, right? And amplitude ratio overall is equal to 0. So minus 360 means from this side. Okay? From this side it will approach. From this side it will go on approaching. So the overall plot tentatively will be like this. I'm not saying this is the exact intersections will be here or somewhere else, right? But tentatively the overall plot will be like this. So here this is omega equal to 0 and here omega tending to infinity, right? So once you have got an understanding, it's quite simple to plot this Nyquist and Bode for non-interactive multi-capacities. Now in the next session we will see that how this Bode plot specifically and Nyquist plot has been used to actually propose more stringent and more universal stability criteria called Bode and Nyquist stability criteria. And from there the tuning technique, right, some tuning techniques and tuning methodologies has been proposed by Ziegler and Nichols called Ziegler-Nichols tuning technique, which is exclusively based on the system response on this frequency to this sinusoidal curve, sinusoidal input.